think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 6, 3, 2, 9, 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Frank Pierce. And we would like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. Alright guys, what up? It is Thursday night. That means it is show night, and this show is live. If you want to be part of the show, as always, you can give us a call at 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link, which is expired. But hey, it's the thought that counts. If you're already in the Discord, you can join the show that way as well. But the phone number is open to everybody. 702-957-1037. The phone number is up on the stream. And if you're new to this, if this is your first time putting your toes in the lake of Troubled Minds, well, what we do is we talk about all the things we're not supposed to talk about. That would be, of course, aliens. That would be conspiracy. That would be the paranormal. That would be the 24-hour news cycle. That would be the government and major corporations and how they run the world and don't give a damn about the individual anymore. Those are the things we talk about, which are basically borderline illegal, right? The beginning of this show, the intro says, the internet has become the command center of criminals and terrorists. And at least we're on the cutting edge of something, because they're trying to label us that as such. So there we go. So those are the things we talk about. The show is live again, 702-957-1037. We're watching the phone lines, and you can call and tell us you agree or you disagree, or we're morons, or we're geniuses, or anywhere in between, and we're all okay with any of that. But don't call us geniuses, or we'll think you're crazy. But okay, so tonight we have all kinds of things on tap. I'll let Frank tell you about that, though. Who's Frank? Who's Frank, you say? If you're wondering who Frank is, you're in for a treat. Ladies and gentlemen, your co-host Frank Pierce.
Hello, my name is Frank Pierce, and we are back again for another exciting show. We do have plenty on tap today, but as always, if you have stories you want us to talk about or you want to share, join the Discord or put them in the chat there and we'll look at them, because it's always good to get feedback from the audience and learn we can't look at everything. Let's put it that way. So on tap today, we have listening devices. We have the Area 51 radar news update, and as well as some alien news and robots in space. Robots in space is always the best topic ever, so we got to play that classic clip of the gunslinging Russian robot shooting a bunch of targets because things seem to be accelerating. They're putting this guy up there. I'm amazed they're putting a robot in space. Plenty to talk about, but yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. All right, so we got who do we have? We got chat. We're gonna go to the alternate chat here, and we're gonna say Juan Carlos. What's up? You get first on YouTube. We got Lucas gets a close second. Juan Carlos from California. Lucas from Canada. We got Rolf. What's up? We got Mike. What's up? How you doing, buddy? And then we'll go to Facebook now. So first on Facebook is Owamani. What's happening, buddy? We got Tony. Fred, how you doing? Justin from Michigan. We got Ryan. It's been a minute. Glad I'm here. We're glad you're here too. What the hell? Where you been, man? Kurt, what's up? I was wondering if they were doing a show. I love this show, says Kurt. Thanks, Kurt. We love that you love this show. Christopher, shout out from Maryland. Shout out from Las Vegas. What's up, Frank and Mike? You already know, man. It's show night. That's what's up. Christopher, I get on when I can, guys. Started a new job. Yeah, new job sucked. Tell me about it. Hopefully they're treating you well. That's the most important part. Benjamin, what's happening, buddy? We got Rolf again on Facebook. Sam, how you doing, buddy? From Jacksonville, Florida. We got Xavier. Always look forward to this, he says. Thank you. Appreciate that. And music is too loud. Okay. Couldn't hear Frank barely. Oh, okay. All right. That's good to know. Hear that, Frank? You got to shout over the music, buddy. All right. We got Tai. What's up? Hi from Shy City. Is that Chicago? I don't know what that is. We got Michael. And there you go. Rolf, we have over 10 years now. Was 12 last month. Next month it'll be a week. I don't know what you're talking about. but the good news is, if you want to elaborate and tell us what you're talking about, 702-957-1037. I've been neglecting to read that number 44 times a show, so let's do a little bit of that. And yeah, all right. What are we starting with tonight, Frank? What kind of madness does Troubled Mind Radio's why? Wow, my holy shit. What kind of madness? Let me start over. What kind of madness does Troubled Minds Radio have on tap tonight?
I think we have to go back and look at this Area 51 raid. You know, this is one of these things where it started out with such good intentions. Let's all storm Area 51. Let's run like Naruto in there, dodge the bullets, and capture dem aliens, right? They're saying that now. But they've really done this masterful thing of transitioning it from an actual raid, from actually finding the truth, and turned it into this alien festival, this alien-themed festival. So let's open up this. Let's look at what's going on. It appears that people still are going. It appears that they are going to get a bunch of traffic, and we'll see that in a minute. But they've kind of shifted the narrative away, haven't they? They've turned it into something else. So open up Fox 5 Vegas. Permits approved for 2 alien-themed festivals in Nevada. Now, again, this is incredibly interesting because it was about finding the truth. It was about learning things. And now it's about a festival, you know? So you give in to people's baser desires. You give in to their need for having fun over finding the truth, watching TV over reading a book. And this just happens. It's a masterful use of propaganda. So let's look at this. Lincoln County Commissioners on Monday approved permits for 2 separate alien-themed festivals for rural Nevada later this year. The first was for Alien Stock at the Little Alien, and the second was for another music-type festival at George Harris's property on the Alien Research Center. Isn't that amazing that they had all these people, Tom DeLonge, George Snorri, what's the other guy, the silver-haired fox from Vegas. You know who I'm talking about, that UFO guy.
The UFO guy, George Knapp, that guy.
Yeah, that's the guy. And they all came out, they all denounced it, and these thought leaders, these people that should be pushing for disclosure, they all came out and they came against this Area 51 raid. Now it's just a music festival. So what do you think about this? Real festivals happening, but no more alien raids.
Yeah, this is a standard. What do you do? Like this is something that's been pointing at in Brazil for a very long time, right? As long as they keep the carnival going every single year, they have that huge festival that goes for like a week or 10 days or 2 weeks. It's something ridiculous, right? As long as they continue putting on the big party, then nobody really gives a shit about anything else that's going on. So it's long been a distractionary tactic, let's say, of governments to hey, let's put on some festivals. people will get their drink on and get their smoke on, and they'll forget what they were there for because they're having such a grand time. So yeah, this is standard. This is adopted by different countries the world around, and we're nothing new there. A couple more shout outs. Better late than ever. What's up, Wendy from Seattle? We got Tamron, hello from South Africa. How you doing? We got Benjamin wants to talk about the moon. We got Michael says, nice, Franklin. There you go. You got a new you got a new moniker. Peter, what's up? Big tailgate party. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what this is going to turn into. Let's see. Yeah, and then Tamron adds that, Mike, you called it. You said they were going to make it a party with a stage and bands. Yeah, we were on this like from day one. Philip, what's happening, buddy? Philip for president. And John, deflect government's way of not committing mass casualties. Yeah, so there we go. There's catching up to the shout outs. Thanks for showing up, guys. Adrian from Cal Fire, thanks for being here. And yeah, I don't know. This is exactly the thing. This is the problem. This is the damn problem, right? So you do that thing where people get their drink and their smoke on, like I was saying, and then what? Like they're like, oh man, that was a hell of a time. We went to the desert. There were porta potties, and and everything was great. Everything was great, right? But then what? But then what? Like just like Frank said, the truth seems to slip into the darkness of the desert, doesn't it? There's something in some way that if they can do it, they will do it. They will continue the cover up. And again, don't get me wrong. I don't recommend running into Area 51, Naruto style, however you say that. But come on. Come on, guys. Why couldn't they just, okay, look, we're going to release some more UFO documents, if you guys are interested, right? And then we're going to actually have George Knapp read them on stage at the damn festival, right? Maybe the government could contribute. That would be nice. Something like that. What do you think, Frank? You think they should maybe tell us what the TR-3B is? Or maybe think about it this way. This would be genius from the government perspective. If they're like, hey, look, we're going to do this thing every year, and we're going to have people show up, and we're going to party. And every year we will disclose some document. We will make it a mission of ours to leak a little bit to keep you guys on the hook and keep you coming back and keep you buying the beer and smoking the green and having a good time. And then, right, then they've fooled us into thinking that, hey, this is something. We're learning things, right? They've taken all the fangs out of it, which is, of course, transparency. How about that?
Yeah, it'll be hilarious if a bunch of trolls decide to, fly drones over top with flashing lights, or, make a fake UFO and fly it over the festival. This really reminds me of the Occupy Wall Street, right? And we played that a few shows back, where it was going good. People were demanding answers, and there was pressure mounting. All the unions were involved, serious people. And then they brought out the free lunch. And who showed up for the free lunch? All the unemployed hippies with nothing better to do than turn the thing into a drum circle. And this is exactly what happened. They've turned this raid into a drum circle. So let's go into this next story from Fox News again. Storm Area 51 causes 2nd Nevada County to sign an emergency declaration. So they are expecting a ton of people, but it seems they've diffused this situation once again. So there's a video clip in here. Why don't we play this? Listen to the emergency declaration.
Right. They're scared. They're scared that people are going to get run down Tiananmen Square style. Okay, I did link this. If you guys want to check it out, let's see if this will play. My ad blocker doesn't like playing these shitty videos. All right, here we go. Action.
County declares an emergency ahead of the Storm Area 51 event. An official in Nye County, Nevada, says he is preparing for the worst.
Mass casualty incident, serious traffic accident, large fire, anything along those lines we want to be prepared for as best of our ability.
More than 3 million people on Facebook say they will attend the event slated for September 20th. County officials now urging residents to stock up on food, water, and gas.
Hear that? That's in case like the hungry munchies of the 420 crowd shows up and steals all their food, their water, and their gas. What the hell what is that about?
Actually think about that. That's pretty interesting, because if you bring a bunch of people into an area that's never had that kind of traffic before, people are like locusts. You go in the store, you buy out the supermarket. You go in the local, buy out all the snacks, the little Debbie snack cakes. They're out of stock. So it's interesting to think that these small towns, if they see this large influx of people, the locusts, the sheep, will literally eat them out of house and home. And what are they going to do? They're going to have to drive for 2 hours to the local Walmart and buy something. Yeah, I don't know, but that's fairly interesting, right? This is a serious thing. So people are going. People are definitely going. there was all these jokes. Even the New York Times wrote this article. No one's going to show up. Oh, I mean, don't go. Please don't go. The government told us to tell you not to go. But this thing is, people are coming. So do you think this raid is still going to happen? Or is it just going to be a bunch of hippies dancing in the desert? And nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what's going to turn into. They've perfect. This is going to be Brazilian carnival for the UFO community, right? That's what's going to happen, and they're going to show up, and a good time will be had by all, and maybe some people get arrested for a drunken disorderly or what have you, but maybe trespassing of maybe a section of the desert they shouldn't be in. But I really doubt, like if it was me, if I was the sheriff, or I was like a politician, or I was whatever, if I was somebody in power, I would literally just shut the roads down. So nobody could get anywhere near it unless they walked 20 miles across the desert. And that could be done so easily because it's such a remote area anyway. Like, why not do that? Like, it would, it would make things safe. So people aren't run over by tanks or step on landmines or get shot by, some PFC, private first class just at a boot camp or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many bad things that could happen here that, I if I was in charge, that's what I'd do. I'd just shut down the roads 20 miles around for the entire week. And you have to show me an ID that you live in the area to get through. That's it. That would do it, right? That would do it.
That's some kind of tyrannical thinking, though. Isn't there some kind of amendment where the roads you can't just shut down the roads without a good reason? You can't just say you can't travel here. Isn't there a right for freedom of travel or something like that? I'm sure there is. I wish I knew. But that sounds even worse. You'd cause a shitstorm of epic proportions if you just shut the roads down.
Maybe, but I think it's just a way to bottleneck the traffic is all. Because again, they're like 2-lane roads. There's no freeways out there. There's no interstates. There's no overpasses. Just none of that. So if this many people show up to these parts of the country, these parts of the state, they will end up causing massive traffic jams. And so, it's smart of them to move it. This is the thing, right? So do you really think that even if, okay, let's take the entire thing at face value and say, okay, it's not a hoax, and people are going to really run into this military base, right? This heavily armed military base that's got the Air Force guarding it 24/7 with probably like infrared drones, right? They know you're coming. Do we really think there's going to be any kind of disclosure coming out of this event if it's taken at face value? Do you really see anything happening other than mass arrests or some people getting hurt or killed? Like, I don't think it's possible, right? Like, it would have to be millions of people. It would, like, all the people that say they were showing up, it would have to be all of them mindlessly storming the thing like zombies, like Walking Dead zombies. That's the only way. And even then, I think they just like drop bombs on them. I mean, as terrible as that sounds, I think that's what will probably happen. But
yeah, they'll never get in, of course. And if the government is smart, if they're good at covering things up, which we all know they are, they would have moved all this stuff out of here years and years ago after Bob Lazar came out and talked about it. So there's nothing there, but it does set a precedent, doesn't it? Where these things are no longer sacred. This military base, it's no longer sacred. You want to storm this thing? Go right ahead. So I think people will go. I think they will get tear gassed and beamed with what was that? The heat cannon and the skunk shooter, and go back and check out that episode. All these crowd control techniques. I think it'll happen, but it's interesting that it does set a precedent that these areas are no longer sacred. If we want answers, we can get them. But then you roll out the free lunch and all the hippies come and they kind of diffuse the situation.
It's the same damn tactic, isn't it? Free lunch, a festival, and bam, the entire political notion, the entire fight for transparency is forgotten overnight, just like that. Bam! Oh, did somebody say free food and a beer line? Where's the beer line? What else is to see out here in the desert? Yeah, this is crazy. What's up, Adrian says on Facebook, YouTube says, are we still talking about Epstein, or are we brushing it off and forgetting it like the Vegas shooter? Nah, I'm kind of sick of talking about Epstein. It brings me down. How about you, Frank? Let's skip it this time. We're not going to talk about Epstein tonight.
Yeah, we can do a little bit, because they came out and they said the cameras, they malfunctioned and all this kind of stuff. So it's a bunch of nonsense. They just keep spamming out nonsense after nonsense, and we really can't tell what's going on.
Yeah, so they did. So just a quick update on that. They did say that the cameras are being investigated because they malfunctioned. There you go. There's the Epstein update. His lawyers. This is bizarre. His defense lawyers. Now, I guess what would you call this? Posthumously? I don't know if I said that right, but he's dead, so they say, and now his lawyers are trying to say that there was some sort of cover up, and they're using it as some sort of defense to. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it brings me down. We did a whole lot on Epstein, and it's really dark, and I just don't like talking about it. But there you go. There's the update. So yeah, we will get back to it at some point for sure. Because as things develop, like maybe they start spotting him in Thailand, or he shows up in Japan, or he's filmed in some sort of press conference next to Vladimir Putin. Yeah, we'll cover it then. But I think for now I'm cool off Jeffrey Epstein. Rest in peace, wherever you are.
It was kind of funny. I saw the other day there was a picture in Egypt of someone who looks exactly like Steve Jobs, just sitting on the street in Egypt. Same hair, same face, everything. So, of course, Steve Jobs is dead, but they think he just kind of abdicated the role of the company and moved over there. So this whole faking your death thing, this whole Elvis is still alive, I bet there's a bunch of people out there doing it and no one really thinks about it.
Yeah, no, and there's cases. We could probably do an entire show, like a full 2 hours, probably multiple shows on the amount of people who have faked their death, right, and been caught either in the act or trying to do it, or turned up years later, presumed dead, right? So it is a thing for sure. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out. And we have you guys, right? I think that's the most important part again, and why we do this live. I say this, I said it 1,000 times, I'll say it 1,000 more. Because a lot of the things that we learn are from you guys. And so join that Discord, get in there. I will update. Sorry, Adrian, I will update that link. I've been busy. Wink, wink, busy, if you know what I'm saying. Trying to find a way to get into Area 51. Just kidding. But yeah, it's we do learn a lot from you, and you guys are on the case. So Frank and I can sleep well knowing you guys are on the case. So as things develop, we will see them in the Discord and from the calls and everything else. So, okay, so anything else about this Storm Area 51? So they said that they've declared a state of emergency, and I think that would allow them, somebody said in chat that it would allow, declaring the state of emergency would allow them to shut the roads down. So that would be, right, that would be good. That would be a good thing, I think. People don't die. They're redirected to the detour, to the festival, instead of to the military base. It's all good, right?
Yeah, talking about finding ways to get into Area 51, let's play this clip on YouTube, Rat Attack in the Street. And we'll talk about it after. Let's play 30 seconds of this and just look at it for a minute and think of the possibilities.
Okay, think of the possibilities. I'm linking this per usual. And again, if you guys want to follow up on us and check the links, they'll always be on YouTube. So you can always go to YouTube and read the comments and all that stuff. And all the links we play are there, as well as in the chat. So here we go. Let's see. Make sure we're full screen, and we're going to play this action.
We're in Chicago today to bring back a classic, the Rat Attack prank. This is Ralph right here. He's our rat.
I'm so real.
And we're going to be taking him all over the city to see how much he can actually scare people.
Oh my God.
All right, so quick pause because this is an actually audio show. So they have this fake rat. He's looks pretty what is this? He looks like the rat from The Princess Bride. If anybody's seen that, the rodents of unusual size. He kind of looks like that, except he's very, very small. He's like the size of a large-ish type city rat, but he definitely looks like that, probably inspired by. But here we go. We get people walking down the street, and they're kind of putting this thing on the corner of a wall or fence or something, kind of eyeballing people as they walk by. Stuffed animal, I guess you can call this thing. Okay, anyway, action. Okay. And it moves. So the rat moves?
It moves.
It moves.
Now, you get the idea here. Tell me why, if we're looking for answers, if we're looking for ways to learn these things, people aren't doing things like this. Why is it that it's always a joke? You can Naruto run into Area 51, and that's going to get past the bullets. How about we rig up a drone to look like an eagle and fly it over? Do you think they'd really notice? How about we rig up a robot rat to crawl its way in and snoop around the buildings? Do you think they'd really notice? I'm sure there's all sorts of animals out there all the time. But this, to me, seems like a possibility that no one's really thinking about. Now, you recall Acoustic Kitty. You remember that in the 1960s, the CIA put a link. They essentially rigged this cat. They took a regular cat, they did surgery on it. They put a microphone in it. They put a battery pack in it. They put some kind of transceiver in this thing too, and they wanted to use this cat and let it loose to spy on a Russian embassy. And of course, it didn't really work out. As soon as they let the car out, as the story goes, it got hit by a car. As soon as they let the cat out, pardon me, it went into the street and got hit by a car. But they had this cat rigged up as a listening device. Now, it seems to me that all this technology, we have it now. We could rig up a cat as a listening device, go on Alibaba, buy some Chinese parts, and do some back alley surgery, and we could spy on Area 51 in no time.
Well, first off, that would be illegal, Frank. Just FYI. But I don't think it's possible, to be honest, because I think in situations like that, it's not just think of it this way: it's a military asset, okay, and obviously, even if there were, like, let's say there were aliens and Valiant Thor and the Roswell crash, they brought the bodies there, and there was one that was still alive, and right, all these things, like, these are the things that people are interested in. But of course, because of all the press this got from Bob Lazar since 1989, it's been 30 damn years. It's been 30 damn years we're talking about. There's no way. If any of that stuff was ever there, it is no longer there. Because it's the first place people would go to look for it, right? In a situation like this, as we see. So we talked about in previous shows when this first started, what are some of the places you would like to storm? Some of the sea, hypothetically. Because, well, doing it would be probably bad for everybody, but you get the point. Like, what are some of the actual places? Because Area 51 at this point is more of a like a prop, right? Like a prop military base. It's become so famous in the mythology, in the UFO mythology, that you can't tell me any of this stuff, if it was ever there, is like there now. There's just no freaking way. Like no knucklehead in the government would be like, hey, let's just not move it because, yeah. Come on, people. No, of course. If that stuff was ever there, it's gone. It is completely gone. So, yeah, no. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's all these spy movies about the robotic fly or the robotic mosquito on the wall kind of listening in and looking at you. I'm sure we could rig something up like that. Can you do me a favor and try to fix this echo somehow?
Yeah. I'll kill the Discord. I'll read a couple comments here while we're rebooting the Discord. That seems to be the thing that's echoing these days. Like, all my audio shit is literally freaking out. It used to be fine. Everything used to be good. And now this shit is just broken. Like this echoes, that does it. This talks back on Frank, the other thing. Here we go the other way, blah, blah. I won't bore you with the details, but yeah, there's some shit going on here. It's suspicious, let's say. I'm calling it suspicious. Okay, but we got some good. Let me know if that fixes Frank. We got some good comments. Dale, what's up, Dale? Dale, thanks for showing up, buddy. Dale, Larry used to be our resident comedian. Now it's Dale. I don't know where Larry's at, but Dale is definitely coming through with the jokes every damn show. What's up? You're consistent, Dale. Dale says, we already have a rat that snuck in the White House. Oh, there you go. And Kurt adds, the aliens are at Wright-Patterson. Can you hear me, Frank? Testing 1 2.
Yeah, I definitely can.
Did it fix anything?
I don't think you quit Discord. I didn't see you leave, but it's getting real.
Oh, real sketchy. Right. Reset the whole damn audio engine. Yeah, I did. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Just for you, Frank. Leaving it. Quit Discord. Okay, read some more comments here as we leave Frank on hold. Hi, Frank. Thanks for calling Troubled Minds. You can wait on hold. Yeah, let's see. Who else? We got some good comments. Elizabeth, what's up? Could be like Disneyland. Area 51, you mean? I hope not. Okay, let's get Frank back. Yeah, Dale says, I think you can probably get an alien drone in there. Probably, right? I think that's probably where they make alien drones. At least that's what Fox Mulder tells us. Definitely. Frank, welcome back. Hello, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, that did it fix it? Let me hear. It's like you hear these stories about these people who think they're being gang stalked, right? And they think they hear voices in their head, and the postman's following them around, and you know the delivery guy's spying on them. And every time I hear an echo in my head, it makes me think I'm like those people. I'm hearing things, and it really drives you crazy. If you want to drive yourself crazy, just hear an echo of yourself 2 seconds in the.
Yeah, there's probably like a perfect uh, duration for that, like 2.26 seconds or something. If every single word or thought you ever had like looped back, either audibly or in your thought process, my God, I can't even imagine how life would be. Holy shit! But I'm sure there's like a perfect duration that would like turn somebody instantly nuts in like a matter of days, maybe even hours. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, how's it now, Frank? How you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, better. Now, Bernie Sanders was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know if you saw that, but he said that if he got in office, if he was elected, he would tell us about the aliens. He would look into it and he would give a disclosure. Now, Hillary Clinton also said the same thing. Do we trust these people? Do we really trust them to go and look and release this information? Because we're not going to get it by raiding a base. Like, clearly, if it's on the internet, the government can see it, the government can read about it, and they can get their trucks ready and haul out that alien material and move it somewhere else in no time. But do we really think that the government itself is going to disclose this information and give it away to us?
No, hell no. Definitely not. And so back to that thought you had about the sneaking the electronic rat into Area 51. There's no freaking way, man. So they definitely have night vision drones. There's no doubt about that. And they have security with night vision, right? And so of course that would also mean they have some sort of heat signature for electronics, right? So I would guarantee you the second you put your electronic rat crawling up into the desert with its camera, I'll bet you they would find that thing instantly. Instantly. I think that, yeah, no. I mean, it's a noble thought, Frank, but I really doubt any sort of electronics. Like, fly a drone in there and see what happens. Like, I think they will roll up on you in no time. You wouldn't even have time to, like, pack your shit up and go. They would come up on you. It's that crazy out there. But so we are. I'm probably. Yeah,
I don't know
come
about
on.
that, because you could set up a transceiver that kind of sends the signal out. You can do all sorts of amazing things with electronics nowadays. People are setting up these little tiny computers and on little chips, buying parts from all over the world. You could do it. Someone could do it if they really wanted to. That would make a great video, like rolling a robot rat up to those guys and want to, the Jeep man or the truck man, the camo guys, I think they call them. It'd be funny as hell rolling a robot rat up to them and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're going to find it. I think they would. I mean, they would definitely find the heat signature of a person in the dark, and they would definitely find the heat signature of whatever electronics. Unless, of course, you had alien technology that didn't actually send any heat signatures into the air, right? I think that's different.
But they would have all these false positives, because there's surely rodents running around the desert as it is, little hedgehogs and porcupine and God knows what else, right? All of that's out there. I'm sure there's like rats running around the base. I'm sure there is.
Of course, like actual rats, right? Like, well, yeah, maybe. I guess it depends on how hard they lock down their rations out there. But like this is an area where there's not a ton of rats. I mean, they're probably going to be like eating the buffets in the dumpsters on the strip, not really out in the middle of the desert at a military base. My opinion, anyway. I'm not an exterminator, so you'll have to excuse my layman opinion there. But hey, this is what this show is all about: layman opinions. Okay, so all right, so do you really think you could sneak an electronic device in there? Do you think they're not scanning all like radio waves, all channels, everything, every single thing that you could do that is human technology at this point? You think they're not actually scanning in real time, 24 hours a day over there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could, and it would be. This is the problem. So Adrian from Cal Fire makes a comment here, which is right on point. If someone snuck a drone in there, YouTube would take the video down immediately. I completely agree. It's how all these companies coordinate together to make even the prospect of doing that worthless. So yeah, you could do it, but it wouldn't matter because the results of doing it would be taken down. You definitely could. And again, this is kind of getting on nefarious territory, but there's definitely ways to do it. There's if you think about all the static, all the noise, all the signals out there, there's so much pollution, noise pollution, electromagnetic radiation pollution out there that they can't observe everything. They can't look at everything. There's ways to do it.
There's ways to do it, and I'm not chugging the beer fast enough, so I'm gonna have to do that. But no, I don't think so. I disagree. I just think that so the reason it was a top secret installation for so many years is because there's things there that they don't want us to know, right? And whether that's let's just spitball and say it's nukes. Let's say it's like the next version, a generation 6 or 7 aircraft they're working on. Maybe it is the TR-3B, right? Maybe it is like Bob Lazar said, and they're reverse engineering alien technology at Groom Lake S4 Area 51, right? Then they don't want us there. They don't want us to know, and so no, I think no. I think you would not be able to get even a drone in there or a little drone rat or no. I really doubt it. Especially now with all the attention they're getting. I'll bet you it's like they probably sent extra staff, extra monitoring equipment. Like there's been a lot of time since that. Like this probably broke like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, something like that. I can't remember the exact time frame, but that's a lot of time, even for the military, right? The military moves slow, the government moves slow, and there's no way, dude. There's no way. I disagree. I think they're watching that shit like a hawk 24/7, and they have drones watching your drones. Yeah, no, not happening. Not happening. What do you guys think? So the trick is, if you think, what do you think? Do you think that the actual military is doing like I'm saying? They're scanning all radio waves. They're scanning all communication that could happen, even on encrypted channels. They're scanning 24 hours a day in infrared and all these other things. Do you think that's happening, or do you think that's a stretch and it's like maybe there's nothing to see here? If let us know what you think. Of course, type in the chat or call us. Hey, this show's live. It is Thursday night. If you want to give us a call, 702-957-1037, and we will put you on the phone and you can tell us all about it. And there's the phone number. It is up, and there's no secret club. There's no secret handshake. You just dial that number, and you'll get right on the show. It's a little call screener program, and it'll say blah blah blah. You just say, "I'm Adrian from Cal Fire, and I'm calling to talk about this," and it'll put you on. That's it. And then we'll put you on the show. That's just an example, of course, but whoever wants to call. 702-957-1037. What do you think? Do you really think that the military has put us in, or at Area 51 is so robust that you couldn't sneak an electronic device in there? Or do you think, like Frank says, that's absurd and you might be able to with some ingenuity and maybe an electronic desert rat? What if the rat's nuclear powered, Frank? would that be different? No, I don't know. Yeah,
you could do it. Like let's put this out there. You could use light, for example. You could have there's no rats out there, you're saying, but we could have a robotic rattlesnake, and you shine a laser on it and bleep the laser 2 times, it moves forward 2 feet. Bleep the laser 1 time, it moves back 2 feet. Do something like that. And are they going to really see a laser beam in the desert shining on a photoreceptor on a robot rattlesnake? So there's ways to do it. I'm sure it's out there. And I'm sure talking about this kind of thing is wrong think, but there's a million ways to do it. And I'm surprised no one's done it so far.
Well, yeah. I think the thing is, though, like once you get caught in a situation like that, I think I don't want to say your Fourth Amendment rights go away, but I didn't Obama, I hate to bring up the name, but didn't he put in something if you're some sort of domestic terrorist or international terrorist, they could smuggle you away to Gitmo, and that's that. Like throw away the key, and because it's under the label of terrorism, there goes your Fourth Amendment. Right? There was a
Wait a minute. I thought Obama closed that base, didn't he? That was one of his promises.
Right. Yeah, of course. Just like okay, I'm off the rails. I apologize to anybody out there that's going to be offended. No, fuck off. I don't really care. Get offended. He also said that my health care was going to go down by $1,500 a year, and I could keep my doctor, and among other things. So just FYI. Okay, anyway. All right, we're going to get off that.
But didn't he give everyone phones too? Didn't he put listening devices in
Get
everyone's
outta here.
pocket?
Get out of here.
Okay, yeah, we can get off that. Let's talk about more alien disclosure from our favorite friends. Who are our favorite friends on the show?
Our favorite. You want me to just read everybody in chat or what? What are you talking about? Oh, our favorite friends.
No, our favorite source of official UFO disclosure. Who is that? These guys, they're doing great work. Who is it?
Oh, of course, that would be Tom DeLonge of Blink 182 and his buddy Lou Elizondo, right? The To the Stars Academy. They're teaching us everything we didn't know about aliens by telling us everything we knew about aliens. It's an amazing trick of the mind. But yeah, go check out the show. It's pretty good stuff. Real quick before we do that, Stephanie has a great comment here on Facebook. Says Tom Clancy. I gotta slow down. Breathe, mics. Tom Clancy had all this in his books, games, etc., and the government thought he was literally a spy of some sort, and he ends up dead. Just a random thought I had since we were talking about spy equipment and all. Are you threatening me, Stephanie? Hey, and just to be clear, we're not encouraging you to try these things. We are saying that the odds of them being able to stop these types of surveillance situations are probably very high. So there you go. Yeah, it stops the right.
Actually, that brings up a question. I want to ask you this question because I wonder what you think about it. Let's say you did that. You made this robot, you snuck it in, you piloted it around the base, you got some footage, and you snuck it back out, and you made a YouTube video. That's illegal. It's incredibly illegal. Do you think if you took that video and put it in your resume and submitted it to DARPA, they would hire you? Or would they arrest you? Which one of those two things would happen?
I guess it depends on how good you were. Yeah, I think it's crazy, right? So if you're like a common thug criminal and you just bought some cheap Chinese drone off Alibaba that probably had Chinese spyware in it and just flew it in, right? Like kind of lazy style, they'd probably arrest you. But if you came up with some sort of like uncrackable encrypted channel that allowed you to pilot this thing in and they weren't able to track your radio signal or whatever signal it was that you invented and were sending, I think it would be a different story, right? As always, I think the devil is in the details. And, if you're a common thug, you get arrested. If you were able to maybe teach them something, yeah, you might get a job. But don't get me wrong. Don't get Frank wrong.
It's a risky business, a risky game to play, though.
Exactly.
I've actually heard that they don't prosecute hackers anymore. So, all the hackers typing on their keyboards and cracking the encryptions, they don't really prosecute them anymore. They give them an option. You go to jail or you work for us, right? Because none of these guys nowadays wants to work for the federales. So they give them that option. Hey, you could go to jail or you could just work for us and we'll pay you a ton of money. And that's how they hire them nowadays is they do that. So they look for these hackers, look for these malware creators, and they say, well, yeah, you're a bad person, but come work for us and we'll do good things.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, right? If you can teach them something, then you're valuable. You're an asset. But if you're, a common Alibaba thug sending in a Chinese drone made by Huawei, so not only is Huawei tracking you who bought the drone, they're also instantly smacked down. Couple more good comments here. Again, live show guys. 702-957-1037. If you want to tell us what's up, you can get right on the show. And let me check the lines. Nope, nobody called. Hey, tears emoji. But let's see. Kurt adds, oh hell no. The workers that fly in from McCarran Airport, which is here in Las Vegas, pat downs and wanding and searched if you're a visitor, etc. Elizabeth says it's 5G, but what if you invented like 10G, right, or something? They'd probably hire you. Let's see. And Dale wants to know, is there a drone dragonfly? Just something like that probably would get you in, just saying. I still think that this is the thing, right? So even if you created like a drone mosquito, right, that it was that size, and you were able to get it in with a camera, right, that was transmitting back, or let's say it didn't transmit the video because that would be a big signal and all these other things, right? You were trying to fly, quote, under the radar. But if you did, and you got in there, I still think they'd find you because it didn't matter the size of the thing. It matters the signal you need to send it in and control this thing. I think that's what they would detect. So even if they couldn't like actually visibly from a heat signature or something like this, they would still detect the signal. Unless, of course, you were, super genius or some shit. I don't know. I don't know anything. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. We got some good comments here. Luke, what's up? Says Frank, when I was in the Navy, a bunch of us were given a vaccine and not told what it was until after the fact. It was the first strain of the swine flu vaccine, and we all got sick in one way or another. Some worse than others, some were hospitalized. Never underestimate or discount the ones running the government, aka the shadow government. There you go. What do you think about that, Frank?
Yeah, there's a rich history, and this isn't a joke. There's a rich history of the government coming and testing things on people, right? Spraying radioactive particles over downtown cities. That's real. It's official. It's released. Injecting sterilants into certain members of the population. We won't name who, but we all know who. Sterilizing these people, injecting radioactive particles into people. These aren't things, these are real. There's documents for them. You can look at them. And so, yeah, I've heard that too, is that military service people don't have the option. They say, you're getting the shot and you're getting the shot. You can't do anything about it. I'm sure they test things all the time. Little to no ethics available, but I believe that for sure.
Yeah, well, they've got a history of doing it. You go back to the MK Ultra stuff, and we did a show on that, and we did an update. We have to redo the update show because John Greenwald Jr. from the Black Vault had new MK Ultra documents that got covered, right? But like everything else, they just got drowned out in the sea of mainstream media BS, right? So yeah, I think at some point we should go back to that. But yeah, they've admitted to it. The government has admitted to it through the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, that they did these things. And yeah, so no, it doesn't surprise me a bit. And then Kurt adds, I bet they jam. So like jamming the signals, he means. So if you, let's say you did manufacture like a tiny ass mosquito, fly his ass in there like a mosquito sized drone, they would detect the signal. In my opinion, I think, I don't know, again, layman's opinion. And they would detect it and take you down. They might jam you, who knows? And then they might put cuffs on you and jam you again. But yeah, okay. And then Kurt adds, happened to my dad in the army for the Cuban Missile Crisis. Got shots and lived the rest of his life with a cherry red neck. Really? Yeah. Back to, yeah. Funny. Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah, they've been doing that for
speechless.
years. There's a famous YouTube video about, I think it was the British government giving LSD to soldiers, and they're in this field. There's a bunch of trees around, and they're all fucking stoned out of their minds, like waving in the air. It's hilarious. Look it up if you have the chance. But they do that all the time. It's no surprise. And the fact that people don't know about it, it baffles the mind, because they have literally taken radioactive particles and injected them into people. They've sterilized people. They've done so many terrible things, and no one seems to give a shit, because run into Area 51 and meme and have fun and go to festivals, and meanwhile the government's getting away with it. Anyway, let's go back to this To the Stars Academy. Our favorite friends. Did you open up this one?
Yes. Let's open up this one. Let me find it. Yes, To the Stars. What's the name of the
TTS Academy releases details for The Vault, the world's most comprehensive UAP intelligence tool. Okay, so this is something. They're releasing some kind of analysis tool. So what do you think about this? Before we get into the details, just from the title, they're releasing details for The Vault, the world's most comprehensive UAP intelligence tool. What do you think about that?
Okay, for the layman, what the hell's a UAP? What does that stand for?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Oh,
UFO.
shit. Oh, I'm supposed to be a quasi-expert, aren't I? Oh, so UAPs in a UFO. Gotcha. Smack me in the head. Okay. So the Virtual Analytics UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Learning Tool. Holy shit. Sounds like spyware to me. Oh, in my opinion, Tom DeLong, if you're listening, you're also a douche, in my opinion, if you're listening. And then also, no, I'm just kidding. All right, I'll stop there. Okay, all right. So they're going to release this app, right? This is an app. Bam.
Yeah, so long and the short of it is they're releasing an app, and it's on iOS, Android, and your computer. And basically what it'll do, it's spyware. It really is spyware. So they'll get a picture of a UFO, or, all these UFO videos people are posting on YouTube and Reddit and Facebook. They'll basically take that. They'll get your analytics. They'll get your location. They'll get the direction you're facing. They'll get the time of day. They'll get all of this information, and they'll put it in a database and do something with it. Now, what that something is should frighten you, because If you're a true believer into the stars, well, you'll say, oh, they're going to use it to find the routes and the locations that the UFOs are flying. They're going to find the hotspots. They're going to do all this amazing things. But if you're like me, they're going to send someone to your door, put you in a straitjacket, and take you off to the loony bin, right? This is what's going to happen. So you're giving the government access to your information, access to where you are, what you're filming, and you're giving it to them. I say the government, of course, because that's what I think the TTSA is, but you're giving this organization your private data. This seems ridiculous. Why would anyone do this?
Yeah, okay, so this is crazy. So think of it this way. It just dawned on me. Right. So what is China doing? They're doing that Belt and Road Initiative, right? You recall that, Frank? Where so basically what it is China has their military, okay, and then they have their private sector. But what they're doing is they're kind of combining both. And for example, they currently own both sides of the Panama Canal, not through their military, of course, but through their private industry. All right, except they're not actually autonomously private industry. They're actually under the boot of the Chinese military. So it kind of dawned on me that maybe this is how they have to do it here, right? So given the America, land of the free, and all this BS they tell us, right? That where they're not literally chipping away rights every day. They're trying to convince us through some sort of government program that, hey, if you use this app, we can all band our information together, right? Except TTSA is that bridge between the industrial military complex and you and me, the private citizen, right? Yeah, who knows, right? Does that make any sense? Am I off the rails here?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good point. Let me read a paragraph from this is like government spook speak. So I'll read a paragraph. I'll try not to mess it up too much. The Vault's functionality will include the collection, storage, search, and analysis of information regarding all events, eyewitness accounts, and data recordings that could shed light on anomalous advanced technology and capabilities worldwide. The database will be able to ingest various formats, languages, and data sources ranging from civilian, industry, academia, law enforcement, and the United States government and other sovereign entities. This also includes data sets from aviation authorities, climatic data, sonar, and other like sources. So they're trying to get you to pull out your phone and give them information. That's the end of it. Now, what are they going to do with that? Nothing good.
No, well, that's the thing, right? Doesn't MUFON do that? Doesn't the what's that guy, Peter Davenport of the UFO reporting website? I can't remember the name of the site, but there's people that do this already, and like they're actually private entities. Well, MUFON used to be, but there's all these other examples. But I think the thing that drives me nuts, if anybody follows this, like we've we've kind of been railing against these guys for a long time now. And it got old, right? Because it was just the same shit over and over. Like they're telling us about Rendlesham Forest, and they're telling us about all the same crap we already knew, right? They tell us about it shoot array with the helicopter attack. That's the problem, right? So if it's a UFO disclosure actually sanctioned by the government or in partnership with the government, we would have new information. And they don't have any. But they have this app they want you to download.
It's very transparent here that they don't have any because they're asking you for your information, right? If they have all this stuff and they know all this stuff and there's like videos and all this crazy and more they haven't released, why are they asking us for our information? Shouldn't they have that information? Shouldn't there be release of radar installations all across the country tracking things that are moving in anomalous ways, moving up in height faster than any aircraft? So they're asking us for our information, which makes it clear that they have none of their own.
Yeah, especially if they have these, secret or special backdoor wink wink leaks from the government, right? Like this is the entire premise of their thing, right? It's like, hey, the dude Lou Elizondo worked for the government. He says he worked for what was that? ATIP, the Advanced Aeronautic, which he says was aerospace threat identification program, AATIP. Okay, forgive me for that, but you get the point, right? So if he knew all this crap, and again, like I said, there's so much contradictory Orwellian BS going on here. That if he was leaking, he would be in jail, right? If he was not and he was sanctioned, he would have new information, right? So what the hell's actually going on? Because there's neither. They haven't screwed with him, as far as I'm aware. They haven't showed up and kicked his door in and put him in handcuffs and he just disappeared, right? But he also doesn't have any new information. So what the hell's going on? Like, this is what Frank and I do. You know, no offense, Frank, but we have no new information either. We're going off of the shit we get from the media, right? And the shit we get on the internet. No offense to the media and the internet. Okay, only offense to the media. But you get my point, right? Like, we can do that too. We could literally put together our own damn show, doing the voiceovers and narration and all the crap, right? Like with some stock video footage of Rendlesham Forest, like everybody else has done in the damn UFO community. We could do it. We could do that. But guess what? It's the same shit they've been telling us for what, 30 freaking years. So what's the point? I think that's what gets me under my skin the most about all this. What is the damn point? Is it disclosure? Then shit or get off the pot. Is it not? Well, then what are you doing? That's the problem, right? There's a big problem here. So yeah, anyway, there's my little rant.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that was why the Area 51 thing was so exciting. It's, of course, they weren't going to find anything. Of course, they weren't going to do anything, but it was a step in the right direction. You think about all these big UFO events, these big, huge things, and there's very few. There's Roswell and Rendlesham and a few others. And they all happened years ago. Bob Lazar did his thing in the 80s. What's new since then? What's the new release, the new video, the new photograph, the new testimony? There's nothing. There's nothing out there. So it is quite amazing to me that, I don't know if the aliens have gone away. They got sick of us. They almost saw Hillary Clinton in the White House and they decided, hell no, we're out of here. I don't know what it was, but not a lot's happening. Even if you look for news on UFOs and aliens, you don't see a lot out there.
No, of course not. Of course not. A couple good comments here we have to read. Stephanie, what's up? Says, I called the nearest motel and hotel near Area 51 just for shits and giggles, and both employees told me that everything is booked within a 100-mile radius. These people who are going are effed. Can you elaborate on which ones you called, if you would be so kind? Franco says, I have pictures of a UFO. And so Franco, actually, hold on, let me scroll up. This is good. Franco says, I am in the Peruvian Navy, and we had seen UFOs that moves very fast at night. Then they stay still, and then they disappear with a very, very fast speed. And you have photographs, you say? So he's trying to send us pictures. So troubledmindsradio@gmail. Just send them there, and we'll pull them up. We can take a look. But yeah. Troubled Minds Radio. There you go. At troubledmindsradio@gmail.com. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this. What do you think the meta is to this Vault, the virtual analytics UAP learning tool, Frank? In the end.
Well, let's look at some news stories and see how these trends progress. But before we do that, I was just thinking here, how easy was that? You call up a hotel in the area or a motel and you say, hey, can I get a booking? And they say, no, it's all closed for 100 miles around. Why isn't the news doing that? Why isn't the New York Times doing that? Why are none of these sources doing that? Call up a hotel, see how the bookings are. Oh, it's all booked up. Wouldn't that be good information to put it in the public? And how easy was that for the person whose name I forgot? I apologize. How easy is that to do?
That would be Stephanie.
But you don't see the news doing that.
Yeah, no,
you don't see the news doing what Stephanie did. So it makes it clear that they are trying to cover something up, because that's transparently easy. That's investigative journalism.
Yeah, exactly. That's what journalists are supposed to do. You're supposed to hit the pavement and hit the phones and get sources and information like that. And so there you go. Stephanie's the citizen journalist that the mainstream doesn't have the guts to actually do themselves. But yeah, good stuff there. So yeah, okay, all right. So back to this. You said the Vault. There's additional news on this.
Well, let's look at the trends of how things progress. So we are on the record saying that if you have a Siri, an iPhone, or you have the Google Home or the Amazon Echo, you are a fucking idiot. And that's my opinion. Strong language, but that's always been my opinion. And recently there's been a whole spate of news articles, my own opinion, So let's read about them because they're pretty interesting. So open up the New York Post. Apple apologizes for letting contractors eavesdrop on Siri's sex recordings. What's this about? So
Yeah.
Apple on Wednesday apologized to its, pardon me.
I said, yeah, baby. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
They're listening to my sweet love making.
Apple on Wednesday apologized to its users for employing third-party contractors to listen to audio recordings picked up by its Siri voice assistant, including when the voice assistant program was accidentally triggered by muffled background noise. So in practice, in which Apple contractors listened to Siri, they heard sex and drug deals and confidential medical information, all this kind of stuff. They're letting contractors listen into it. This is disgusting. This is horrible. Random people listening to your intimate moments in the bedroom. And what is this Volt app? It's probably going to be much the same, as they're going to use it to get these random recordings.
From the ufology fanboys. I wonder, so what do you think if you had to venture a guess, like take the entire ufology community, how many do you think are like with is it 50-50, like with TTSA and Tom DeLonge and those guys, or do you think it's less than that?
Who knows? It's probably 50-50. Can you read Discord again, please?
Yeah, you got it. All right, we need some comments because we're gonna cut Frank out. Frank, we're putting you on hold. Troubled Minds Radio, please hold. All right, so there we go. If you guys want to call, 702-957-1037. Frank's hearing himself 2.2 seconds in the past, and it's driving him insane, so we're going to reset him and bring him back. Philip, what's up, says, wow, they admitted it. Holy shit, that's a lawsuit, no doubt. I may get one now to cash in. Wait, they admitted what? No, they've been admitting this forever. They've been saying that, so Google leaked it. I think Amazon was the first one that was like, well, we're picking up the stems, they call them, right? Because it has to always be listening, because you have to be able to say the command word, the keyword, right? Whatever it is. Frank, you there? Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. This is disgusting. Imagine this. You're having your intimate moments, you're arguing with your kid, you're disciplining your kid, or you're making a drug deal. We all do these kind of things. And they've got these contractors, these random people that they're listening to these private moments, and they're just giving it away. They're actually transcribing some of this stuff too, and we'll see that in a future story. They are going through, how insane is this? They have people out there that are going through these recordings, transcribing. I'm not going to moan and make the noises, but they're transcribing those things. How ridiculous is this?
Oh, sorry. I got caught up in the excitement there. No, yeah, right. So that's the thing. They call these stems, right? They call these audio stems, and they have to, like, if it's listening for a particular command, then it's always listening. And so they say, code-wise, this is how they've justified it. There's some sort of stems, and so it's listening all the time. And then if you start to say something that does not correspond to the command it's listening for, it cuts it, right? And so it does not record it, right? But who believes that shit? Like, are you kidding me? Like, why would they not? Like, Google is spyware, Facebook is spyware, Twitter is spyware. Like, every single large tech corporation is they're spyware. Right? Like my brother-in-law, God bless him, he's a smart guy. He said that, hey, it's not spyware if they advertise it as a feature. Right? Then it's a improve your life type of business. But holy shit, come on now. No, they're listening all the damn time. And the question is, how ethical are they? Right? Do you trust them? Like, I'm not going to get into the 23andMe DNA bit because we've done that quite a bit, but how much do you trust them? These corporations that you send your information to, that are always listening to you, right? Do you sleep next to your phone? Does Google know how well you snore or how well you sleep based on your sleep apnea or whatever the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a ton of information to be had here from just the audio going on in your house. Yeah, crazy. This is crazy shit.
Yeah, and what's to stop these people from uploading these things to some website so you can listen in to some random people getting it on? Here's another line from the article. This is amazing. The sound of a zip, Siri often hears as a trigger. So the sound of your zipper going down, and you know what follows that is the trigger for the contractors listening in. I don't, and again, they want to put this on your phone. They want to put that Volt program on your phone that's going to track your location, track the temperature, track all these things. You would have to be insane to do that. I don't understand this new world where random people are listening in and this is okay. Shouldn't this be national news? Shouldn't this be lawsuits and class action suits against these? This is disgusting.
Yeah, which is another scam, by the way, just FYI. So what happens? Let's say this does get dropped into a class action lawsuit. What happens, right? You get a team of 10 or 12 or 15 or 100 lawyers that suck all the money out of it, and what do we get? A check in the mail for $12.95 for your for your pain and suffering. Fuck off, people. No. We want these companies to be held accountable. I don't want your shitty check that the lawyers have pre-leached and then sent me the crumbs, whatever's left. I don't want that shit. And I don't use Apple. I'm with what's that? Resign Reaper Apparel. What's up? It says, good thing I have Samsung. And you think you're safe? It's so cute. Gucci Goo. You're so safe with the Samsung. Just wait till their leak comes out. I tell you what, they're listening too, man. They're all listening. That's the problem, right? They gain by gleaning information from you. And so here we are. Again, this is an important thing to talk about because people don't care, I guess. I think that's the thing, right? In the end, people really don't care. But it is one of the things that will change. Think about it 100 years into the future. If your toaster is listening to you, right? If your refrigerator, if your car, if every single mechanical anything that you come into contact with is listening to you in 100 years. Here we go, Dale. An emoji of you on the can, on the shitter, right? Facebook and Google and whatever technocracy exists in 100 years will know when you have diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? Because your smart toilet will report it with the 7G or the 10G.
That's a good transition. Before you continue on that aspect, let's go to CNET. How Amazon convinces police to join the Ring network. Let's pull open this. So Ring is like a doorbell camera you can buy. So essentially you take it, you put it on your front door, and then you can use your app on your phone to look at the people coming to your front door. And there's a camera, there's a speaker, all this kind of stuff. And guess what? Now the police have joined this network. So they have access to your front door. Now, that sounds good. What if someone's trying to break in? What if someone's trying to break into your house in the middle of the day and, get in? It's good that the police can have the video, right? But who goes to your front door more than anyone else in the entire world? Who is always at your front door, opening it, closing it, locking it? Who is it? It's you. So the police are going to have access to you. They're going to see you stumbling and drunk. They're going to see you, he looks a bit, he's not walking too good. He clearly failed a DUI. So, they're going to take that and use it as evidence to prosecute you. This is just, again, more disgusting. You would put a camera on your front door that connects directly to the police. And that's what the story's about. It's getting out of control.
Okay, so what's going on with this? So the police actually have access to these videos? Do they get like a direct feed or an upload after the fact? Does it specify here?
Yeah, it does. So the police, they're sending them to police officers, sending them to the public. But I think that's the gist of the story. I'll have to find the quote precisely, but they have access to this Ring network, so they can look at these videos.
Yeah, so it's like, let's say somebody comes in, smashes your window in, and steals, 75 cents in your old Metallica cassette tape, right? That you left in there from 3 cars ago that still had a cassette. But that happens, right? The police are like on the case. They're like, hey, man, we're going to get your 45 cents back in your Metallica tape. Trust us. Yeah, no. And so, this is another thing, actually. It brings into question, have you heard of the red flag laws they're talking about here? Where they're kind of saying that for the future of gun ownership, they want to implement these red flag laws. We're going to go all hashtag 2A for just a second with the Second Amendment. But have you heard about that, Frank? The red flag stuff happening? I can clarify if you haven't.
No, I haven't heard about that at all. What's that about?
Okay, so with all the mass shootings, that the media just keeps stuffing down our throat, right? It's they're trying. It's basically a way of creating new laws where they can bypass due process and your Fourth Amendment, right? Or your Fourth Amendment protections, which would be due process, which would be, hey, you can't actually take rights away from me until you prove that I've been adjudicated, to say it properly, unfit to actually have these rights myself. Okay? But these red flag laws are, whatever they're trying to push now, are ways around that, where they can preempt, right? It's like thought crimes is really what this is about. And George Orwell. Don't we have some George Orwell shit that we can get into? But yeah, so this is exactly the same sort of thing, right? So if Amazon and the Echo device and Google and all these guys, Twitter and all these jerks out there, like, and I'm sure the line level guys are great. I'm talking about the toppest assholes of the top. These guys that work at these companies, if these guys are actually collecting this information on you, right? Like the very most private moments of our lives, what are they doing with it? And then if they're giving it to the police, like, is that or is that not? It should be illegal. Like,
yeah, what's the amendment where soldiers can't be in your house or something like that? There is one. It's like the Fifth Amendment. Is that it?
Or the 18th or the 20th? I don't know. But yeah. So they
say soldiers can't stay in your house. They can't, kick you out and stay in your living room except in times of war or something like this. But here we are. We're inviting the soldiers, inviting the police state in with these cameras, with these apps. So I put a link in the main folder there that shows a map of all the police departments that partnered with this Ring program and do have access to the data. So it shows the map at the very top. Pull that open. So yeah, they're partnering with it. They have access to this information. So they'll see you coming to your door. They'll see you coming to your door all the time, and maybe you're doing something wrong, and they'll scoop you up. So this is disgusting. We're inviting the soldiers into our own homes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the police and everybody else, right? So the technocracy. So it's the major corporations, it's the government, it's the police, it's the military. It's literally every single bit of these things that really shouldn't be happening. Yeah, it's terrible. Got some good comments here. Stephanie adds, sorry, phone died, but it was the Comfort Suites and Roswell Inn. Don't know if it's true, but that's what I was told. Okay, so there you go. We got some names. Maybe we can follow up. Maybe I'll make some phone calls and be like, "This is Michael Stern from Triple Minds Radio. I'm calling to inquire about your..." No, just kidding. Kurt adds, it's only going to get worse. People allow themselves to be spied on. Yeah, that's the facts. That's exactly what's happening. We allow it, right? Like back to my brother-in-law. He says it's not spyware if they advertise it as a feature and people buy it because of that. That's it, right? You see, it's like the double. This is Orwellian doublethink.
In this case, it's almost worse. So open up this map and you'll see. So they rolled out this product and they have it in homes everywhere across the country. You'll see mostly in the East Coast and California, of course. Fucking California. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you'll see it there. And then they partner with the police. Once the installation is already in, then they partner with the police. So they didn't advertise it as spyware to begin with. They kind of snuck it in. Look how convenient this is. You can protect your children. And then 6 months later, they say, oh, the police are all now watching. So what are you going to do? You're going to rip that off your thing? It's so convenient. It's so easy to see who's at your door. You're going to now rip it off and throw it away? I doubt it.
I doubt it.
You get so many great videos. These are where these, we were talking about this before the show. These are where all these delivery drivers, going to the facilities in the middle of the street, they have to relieve themselves. So they do it in the middle of the street. That's where all these videos are coming from, is these doorbell cameras. Now the police have access to them as well.
Yeah, don't take a shit in the middle of the street. Public service announcement from Troubled Minds Radio. Hey, what was the name of that article, Frank? I'm trying to pull up that map you're talking about.
I put it in the main folder.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, look at that. See? Real-time curation. There it is. Going to the main folder. Okay, so we're going to put this up and look at Frank's map. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. But again, so what do you guys think? Like, does any of this stuff, freak out? Does this, yeah, I mean, it's surveillance, right? Like I said, they're going to know when you have diarrhea, right? They're going to know when you had really, really, really good sex, they're going to know, right? Like, these are the things, right? They're going to know when you're not having sex. They're going to know how healthy you eat, right? By your digital transactions. We've talked about this before. They're going to know all these things. It's absurd the amount of information they're trying to get from us. And so there has to be an end, right? There has to be a stop to this. And because we shrug our shoulders and just go along with it, whatevs, they're getting away with it. And
Let
of
me
course,
jump in there.
Go ahead.
There was a ruling recently that insurance companies can use data from these services. They can use the data from your smart scale. They can use the data from your smart toilet, telling them about your bowel movements. They can use the data from your refrigerator or your ordering habits. You're eating too much sugar, you're at risk for being a diabetic, so on and so forth. They can use that data to affect your insurance premiums. I'm a bit hazy on the details. We'll have to look into this more, but they can actually use that kind of metadata to raise your rates or lower them. So it is ridiculous. It really, if you come home stumbling drunk every single day and this doorbell camera sees it, well, your insurance rates go up. And now the police are watching you. It's getting ridiculous. Then put this UFO app on your phone and you've confirmed that you're a lunatic in the eyes of the mainstream anyway, and your rates go up even further.
Yeah. Okay. So agreed. And so not only that, so like I like to sneak a fast food burger now and then, like the Carl's Jr. Western Bacon. Man, they're not a sponsor or anything, but holy shit, that stuff is so good, right? You sneak one once in a while, right? If you do it just a little bit too often, right? Bam, your health insurance rates go up. Shit like this. Yeah, no. One more time. I've got the map up now. Can you explain to us what the map is, Frank? Since I'm so lag time.
So those are all the police departments that have partnered with this, the Ring camera. They're the ones who have access to that data. So you look at those, all those police departments across the map. They've partnered with the police to give them this information, to access this information. Now, of course, they said there's no free access. You got to go through channels and stuff. But from what I read, it doesn't seem like those channels are a warrant from the judge. It seems like they just have to provide a reason. Then Ring will kind of circumvent the judicial system and give them access.
Yeah, and so if you look, of course, these are all of the major metropolitan areas in the whole country. You know, there's no accident that like out here in the West, you know, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, there's nothing going on out here. Nevada, thankfully. But yeah, and so hold on, there's another great comment here. Stephanie says, I never had my cameras registered with my local PD. I was supposed to, but never did. So this is like an opt-in, right? So when you install the thing, they ask you, would you like to send information to the local PD? Right? That's what they do.
Wait a minute. That's for probably unintelligent cameras. These things that are connected to your Wi-Fi, connected to Amazon, connected to these data centers, there's no opting in. You opt in when you install it. You opt in when you type in your login and connect all your devices to it. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that's probably like a dumb camera. But these smart cameras, they have access already. So they say here in this article that these police departments have access to the Ring camera information. Again, I don't know what would be wrong in your head. I love the excuse, oh, I'm doing nothing wrong, so I don't care. Well, yeah, you're doing nothing wrong and you don't care right now. But 20 years from now, they'll change the laws, like over in the UK, the favorite country in the world. You bring home a spoon and then the police will show up in your door. What's with that weapon you have? That spoon could be used to stab someone if you sharpen it. You know, it can get ridiculous really quickly. And we've seen that in other countries. So yeah, you're not doing anything wrong right now, but 20 years from now, you will be doing something wrong and they will get you for it.
Yeah. And as this surveillance state grows, and again, back to China with the Belt and Road, right? Their initiative where they're combining their military might and their private sector, right? Their wink, wink private sector, which really isn't. It's just state-run business. Because if they don't opt in, they don't do business. You see, like this is the type of thing, right? And this is exactly what's happening here. Isn't that the same thing, Frank? That's exactly the same thing. It's an intertwining of private business and government / military / whatever, spyware, whatever it is. It's the same damn thing. It's just they just need our agreement here. they just need us to buy the product on Amazon and then install it on our door, and then we're good to go. We're hooked up. Belton Road.
That's the funniest thing is people are paying for the privilege of being spied on. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. Again, this is one of these moments in your life you realize that people don't think the same that you do. People think differently than the way you do. And I don't know why you would do this. Like, I barely even use my phone anymore because I'm cognizant of the fact that if I speak wrong thinking near it, I could be in trouble. One day, my insurance rates could go up, and that's proven. That's out there. I don't have a news story to kind of bring up, but it's out there. So this kind of stuff, it's sick. It's disgusting. Now, speaking of that, let's go back to a great thinker. Let's play this Big Brother clip you mentioned earlier. Big Brother is watching you, and you'll know when to stop.
I'll know when to stop. All right, Big Brother's watching. All right, let's find this. Is gonna be from my favorite George Orwell, 1984. Let's see. Big Brother is watching. Right, here we go. And linking it again. If you're listening to audio only podcast style, go to YouTube. Just search Troubled Minds Radio, and you'll find all of the links. All the links are there, and dropping them in the chat right now. But here we go. This is George Orwell, and interestingly, a blast of information. What would you call it? The Nostradamus of his time, which was like 50 years ago. Here we go. Let's see what he's got to say. Action.
It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of it a coloured poster, too large for indoor display, had been tacked to the wall. It depicted simply an enormous face, more than a metre wide, the face of a man of about 45, with a heavy black moustache and ruggedly handsome features.
Okay, I'm stopping it right here because, hey, I'm Michael Strange, and we're talking about ruggedly handsome features. Is that the right spot, Frank?
No.
Oh, sorry. I'll keep going. Here we go. Action.
Winston made for the stairs. It was no use trying the lift. Even at the best of times, it was seldom working, and at present the electric current was cut off during daylight hours. It was part of the economy drive in preparation for Hate Week. The flat was 7 flights up, and Winston, who was 39 and had a varicose ulcer above his right ankle, went slowly, resting several times on the way. On each landing, opposite the lift shaft, the poster with the enormous face gazed from the wall. It was one of those pictures which are so contrived that the eyes follow you about when you move. Big Brother is watching you. The caption beneath it ran.
Okay, that's probably the spot to stop because notice, right? Winston, who is the protagonist, the hero, the victim in 1984. If you haven't read it, it's highly recommended. And this guy, George Orwell, that wrote 1984, was talking about these things, these very issues, decades ago that we're talking about now. We have the technology. We can point to the companies. We can point to the products. We can point to how they're intertwined with this Belt and Road Chinese type system that's happening with our consent, right? Except he was in a kind of a looking forward science fiction type of mind. But I want to point out real quick, notice Winston, the hero, the victim, had a varicose ulcer above his right ankle. Went slowly resting several times on the way. Which, of course, like I said, they will know your health. They will know your mental capacity. They will know if you're happy or if you're sad. They will know if you're lonely, if you're content. They will know if you are a terrorist and a criminal of the internet. Or what did he say in the beginning? Go ahead, Frank. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I like again, listen to this line. It was one of those pictures which are so contrived that the eyes follow you about when you move. So we've all seen those paintings where the eyes follow you around when you move. But listen to that. Take that in the modern perspective. The cameras you put on your door, the cameras in your phone, the listening devices that you so greedily install in your houses to make ordering shit from Amazon more convenient. they follow you around as you move. As you move from room to room, you have your phone in your pocket or you have the listening device here, and it listens to everything. So again, this line, which they didn't have this technology at the time, it's on point. It's perfectly on point from 100 years ago. It's kind of amazing. So they say 1984 wasn't an instruction manual, but they're using it as one today because this line, this poster on the wall, Big Brother is watching you and its eyes follow you around as you move. That's what's happening today.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm linking this if I didn't. So, as a quick aside, when I was a young boy, like maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, we go to my grandmother's house, and she had this giant like painting of Jesus on the wall, and it was one of those damn paintings where no matter where you were at, Jesus was looking at you. It scared the piss out of me, right? Like we would, my brother and my sister, we would hide around the corner, right, and look and be like, "Is this thing looking at me?" And yeah, like you peek around the corner real quick, and that motherfucker's looking at you. You're like, "Get me out of here!" But yeah, like right. Tell me you got the same sort of creepy thing.
Sinners fear the eye of God, and I guess that says a lot about you.
Yeah, when I was like 7, yeah, I was a sinner. I actually am here to confess. Troubled Minds Radio and everybody listening, I did actually commit genocide once when I was young, about that age, maybe 7. I took a magnifying glass and I burned ants on the sidewalk. I'm a terrorist. I'm a criminal. Okay, anyway, so enough about me. All right, but you get it, right? Did you ever, Frank, did you ever have a painting like that when you were young that actually saw this, that freaked you out when you were young?
I think so. I think there was like a doll or whatever, and I believe it was my grandmother. I just said, "Hey, can we move this out of the room?" And she said, "Yeah, sure," and that was it.
What? You just ruled the roost when you were like 8? Or how old you were? Okay.
You ask politely and you explain your reasoning, and more often than not, people will do what you tell them.
Okay. Hey, Frank, I've got a request. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. Let's keep going here. Okay. So that was we demeaned 1984, unfortunately, because again, read it. Read this if you have not. This is from decades ago, and this guy knew. He knew. Right? He knew it was about the party, and we say red team, blue team. It's the same damn team. He knew the party is the party. He knew then because he saw it. And what was he talking about? He was talking about Stalin. He was talking about Hitler. He was talking about the demagogues that rise to power because they run their propaganda and get you and me behind it. That's what he was talking about. And here we are. Here we are. Oh, God.
Long story short, this is what I see this To the Stars Academy Vault app doing, because it not only looks at your location, it looks at the angle you have your camera pointed, the temperature in the area, the airplane traffic in the area, connects to your other devices. This is an invasive piece of spyware you're putting on your phone to learn about them aliens. And I wouldn't do it if I were you.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I agree. Don't download anything from the To the Stars Academy. In my opinion, it's probably spyware. Yeah. Okay. So, what's up? We got some more shout outs. What? Candy. Hello from Las Vegas. Well, hello from Las Vegas. How you doing? Or howdy, neighbor. Luke says, I have 6 dogs, 4 sleep in my giant bed with me. If they alert me, you better be invited or have a warrant. I hope you're locked and loaded. Hashtag 2A. We got Sean on YouTube. What's up, buddy? Thanks for showing up, guys. And yeah. What the hell? Like, there's 1984 for you. I think we could probably do like an entire like several years on 1984. Like, there's so much in depth there. Like, think about that, right? It describes him and his health issues. That of course the state knows everything about you. Right? The police, the military, the corporations, your job, every single thing. They know everything about you. Do you remember, like, in the very beginning of that book, he was talking about thought crimes, and he was writing them down on a piece of paper. Remember that, Frank? And he would actually, thinking that they were coming into his apartment and they were reading his journals and he sat in just such a way where he couldn't be seen by the telescreen and all the surveillance devices, right? Let's call them the smart toaster, the smart refrigerator, the Amazon Alexa, the Google Home, whatever it is, right? Like he had only one tiny private corner where he would write this journal, and he would move a speck of dust on this journal so that he would hopefully evade the eyes, the all-watching eyes. It was crazy. It's crazy. Read it if you haven't read it. It's good
It's
stuff.
interesting, again, parallels to today, because what do people do? They go on Twitter and they shit post, and all of a sudden the cops show at your door and take your guns away, right? Same thing, except instead of a journal, it's a blog. Instead of a conversation with a person in the house, it's a YouTube clip. It's a radio show. They'll come and arrest you. It's the same thing, and it's happening. It is quite scary. So if you read Eric Blair's work, George Orwell was the pen name of Eric Blair. If you read his essays and his contributions to the newspaper and stuff, it's all good. It's all on point. It's like he's a visionary, really, with how well he predicted society.
Yeah, before that technology was available. So I think if you have a modern day Nostradamus, I think George Orwell was it, in my opinion. And so it's funny that whenever I say my opinion, I'm usually shitting on somebody. But in my opinion, this guy was great. So mark it down on your journal, but make sure to put the piece of dust back just right so that they're not onto you. Okay, some good stuff here. What's up, Steve? Thanks for showing up. Kurt, what's happening? Shit, I sleep with my doors open for the fresh air. You're nuts, man. You're nuts. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, all right. What else we got, Frank?
Let's go to The Verge. Talk about this Amazon rainforest really quick. Everything you need to know about the fires in the Amazon. So they're pushing this issue. They keep on pushing this issue, and they've arrived on the reason for it. They've arrived on the point, and that's Bolsonaro. So what do we know about Bolsonaro?
Bolsonaro was he's the actual newly elected president in Brazil, and they say that he wants to kill the drug dealers. No, wait, that's the Filipino guy, Duterte. They both call Trump. Sorry, I said the word orange man bad. I'm sorry, but no, yeah. So he's the guy. So he's like a far right radical president, if you would believe the media. I don't know because I don't live in Brazil, obviously, but that's who he is, right? That's who this guy is, and he's gonna kill the drug dealers, or something like that, right?
Yeah, he's a far right radical, and that's what this media. So the G7 summit happened over the weekend or over the week, and they're all pointing fingers, not at these NGOs that are burning the area, not at the oil companies, but at Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro is failing. Bolsonaro is the problem, and they're using, again, it depends on your politics, but they're pointing the fingers at the right-wing radicalization of the government. So they elected him. He's doing well. Apparently the country's doing good, except for the rainforest. But that's what this kind of G7 summit was focused on. Macron was going to give him money, kind of bring him under his wing, but he rejected it, and they're all harassing Bolsonaro. That's the point of this. And I found that interesting. You take this catastrophe and you use it to attack the person in charge because they don't follow your politics. That's the essence of it. Now let's play, because I saw this today. This is, again, on point. Let's play Bill Cooper interview with CNN, and let's listen to his take on this same thing.
Okay, Bill Cooper. Let me find him. Bill Cooper.
By the way, Bill Cooper was this conspiracy theorist back in the day, predicted 9/11. We've played him on the show before. Talked about aliens, talked about military technology. He was another one of these good thinkers. So let's play this clip and let's talk about it.
Funny how the more paranoid you are, the more actual good thinker types you become. Here we go, action.
For instance, the burning of the rainforest in Brazil. I know people who are just up in arms. Stop this. We got to stop the burning of the rainforest, which is exactly what the burning of the rainforest is designed to do. Because Brazil is a sovereign nation, right? How can you tell a sovereign nation to stop burning its own forest? You can't. What they're asking for is control over a sovereign nation by a world governing body who can then send troops, a police force, to make Brazil stop burning the rainforest, and that's why they started the burning of the rainforest in the first place.
Holy shit. I'm going to stop that right there because that sounds like a perfect pause for effect. That
How
pause
many
for
years ago
Frank
was that?
Frank Pierce. Yeah, I don't know how many years ago was that.
Let's
look. Let's look. This was published in July 25th, 2011. But when was this actually? Let's see. Blah blah blah. So this is what our notes look like on the show. Link after link after link, and this is how you should do it, guys. If you make a video, don't talk about CNN. Put link after link after link after link. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what's the date on this, Frank. I don't got a date.
It was in the 80s, right? So he was predicting this same thing 30 years ago. He was saying this exact same thing. Now we'll go back to this Verge article in a second, but can you please reset Discord again?
Oh, yeah, you got it. All right. So if you guys want to give us a call and be on the show, this show is live. It is Thursday night, and we're excited to be here with you. So we hope you're excited to be here with us as I put Frank on hold. Trouble Minds Radio. Please hold, Frank. And we're going to reset that. But if you want to call us and get on the show, 702-957-1037, and we can accommodate you. Again, if you show feedback, if you just want to say hello, we don't do any of that other crap like the radio guys, where they're like, you have to say something important that's on point. No, just call us and say hi. Tell us your opinion. Do you like the show? Do you like us? Do you hate us? We don't care. It's whatever. It is what it is. So 702-957-1037. I'll put that phone number in a sec, and we'll bring Frank back in 3, 2, 1. Let's see. As the software loads, Frank Pierce. Frank Pierce, are you with us? Frank Pierce, are you with us? Hello, Frank. Okay, so do give us a call. We are, again, remember, this is important, guys. The reason we do this live is because this is what you call transparency. If you think we're full of shit, you have the chance to challenge us. And I challenge you in this same setting and instance to go back and listen to hundreds of hours we have on record where we ever cut off somebody and were rude to them. Ever. We don't do that. You know why? Because it's being shitty to people. And that's not what this life is about, in my opinion. There we go. That's twice I said something nice, in my opinion. Welcome back, Frank. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, I am. Now, let's go back to this. Some in Brazil, including Bolsonaro, see the international aid as an attack on Brazil's sovereignty. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? And its right to decide how to manage the land within its borders. Bolsonaro has since said that he'll reconsider this donation of money, $22 million, to help fight the fires, as long as Macron, the French pansy boy, takes back his insults and Brazil has control over the money and how it's spent. Right? So listen to what that guy 30 years ago said. They're using this. I guess what he's implying is outside agencies starting these fires. They're starting the fires in the lungs of the world so that they can usurp, I don't know how to say that word, so they can take over Brazil's sovereignty. And that's happening today. So there's a little bit more to that clip. We can play more or you can talk about it. Up to you.
Yeah, let's play more. This guy's smart. And if this guy's smart, we're not. Let's play him. Action.
You see, they went down there and they built a road across the Amazon jungle that went nowhere. There was no reason for this road to be built. There was no place to go. It doesn't go from here to a city on the other side. It just goes across the jungle and ends. And they built this road on purpose because they knew that most of the people in Brazil are so dirt poor that they would see this road as the answer to their prayers. Free land, free timber, a way to support their family, a way to become wealthy, or at least more wealthy than they were, which was no wealthy. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. Millions of people headed out down this road and staked out some land and burned the forest and tried to grow crops. And they found that rainforest is no good for growing crops. It'll grow one crop, and then you got to go burn more trees and plant another crop because the soil is poor. And that's
there we go.
Okay, pause then.
Yep, perfect. The guy has a perfect pause for effect. It's like literally like he did the interview for like, bam, pause. What does Frank think? What does Frank think?
So again, a foreign funded road. I don't think you put that in there, but a foreign funded road out in the jungle, middle of nowhere. They knew people would come on and start harvesting the jungle and burning stuff and clearing land. It's causing an issue. So again, talking about George Orwell, how he was kind of predicting the future. listen to this guy. It's the same thing. There's these people out there who seem to know what's going on. They have the inside track on all these things. And this guy, what he just said is so on point that I was shocked when I heard that. I was really shocked because that's all the media attacks. It's on Bolsonaro. He's this far right candidate. We got to get him out of there. Even on the last show, I don't know if you remember, I was saying if these people control the only source of oxygen in the world and they're burning it down, shouldn't we go in there and take it away from them? If you remember that. So I fell for the trap. I fell for the trap that the media set up.
Well, no, I think that's part of the discussion, though. So you have to bring it up because it is the trap, right? So to actually, if you're, let's say you're the bear and there's the bear trap and you're smarter than the trap, then you got to set the trap, right? Like you stick the stick in the trap as the bear and you bam, right? And then it's no longer in danger. So I think that's part of it. That's part of the discussion here. That's part of why we kind of spitball and do this live and look at these things and see what's going on. Like, what the hell's actually happening here? Because no, there's no trap. You spring their trap, and then you're like, okay, I see what's happening here. And again, so if you go back and you look at, I've heard this from many sources at this point now, because Frank was talking about it last show, or was it 2 shows ago? I don't know. I think it was probably last show when we were off the rails. We were all agitated, just all up in a lather. But it made me go, okay, so is this propaganda or is this not? If you look at the Amazon burning and you go into the past, it is an unbelievable amount of burning, right? And this is nothing new. This thing that's happening right now that's getting media coverage is literally the same shit that was happening 10 years ago, happened 20 years ago, was happening 30 years ago. It just depends, right? We're in the Twitter age, right? We had that what was that? The Amazon tribe person that was on Twitter, right? Propaganda or not? That's up to you to make up your mind. But holy shit! So the Amazon burns 20 years ago, and everybody shrugs. The Amazon burns in the Twitter age, and everybody panics. Donate here. Send your money here. Don't send blankets. Just send your cash. Oh God, Frank, I need a beer. Give me some. Give me like 30 seconds. Say something smart. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. I'll try to say something smart. So again, it's interesting that there are certain people who you can go back to time and time again. George Orwell, William Cooper. They can predict the future. Now, interestingly, they are all part of this power struggle, the system. They're all part. So Eric Blair, again, the pen name for George Orwell, he was part of this. He was in the politics. He knew these things. So did he come up with these ideas independently? Or was he in the discussions where these ideas were formulated? And then he used fiction to kind of leak that out to the public. Same thing with William Cooper. He was part of the CIA. He was part of these intelligence agencies. And now he's saying things on point to the public that are so profound. Did he just come up with these ideas on his own? Is this his own analysis, or was he a part of these discussions all along and was kind of leaking them to the public? So it is interesting that these people seem to know things and they can foretell the future. And how that is, whether they're making it up or it was part of the discussion they were having when they were in the system, I don't know. But that's something to look into, is look into these ex-CIA agents. Although, again, so many of them, like Lou Elizondo, are just hard to tell.
Spooks, you can say it. Spooks, in our opinion, my opinion. I don't know about your opinion, Frank. They're spooks.
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's go to Dem Aliens. How about that?
Yeah, let's talk about aliens. Hey, so they're raiding Area 51 on September 20th. But anybody wants to come out, I might be there. Yeah, you have to spot me in the crowd. I might be wearing the most ridiculous alien costume. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I might be interviewing people. Who knows? But okay, let's move on to Dem Aliens. We like Dem Aliens. What about them, Frank?
Yeah, let's just look at a random collection of things that kind of happened over the week. Open up Michael Collins on Twitter. This is interesting. It's always interesting when you hear an astronaut's take on certain things, an astronaut's take on what happened, And here we go. Michael Collins, one of the astronauts on Apollo 11. He's doing a kind of a ask me anything kind of thing where you can ask this guy questions. See his picture on the left. He's quite old now. Do you believe in life outside Earth? And this guy says, just yes. What do you think about that? Is that something to get up in arms about? That the Apollo 11 astronaut, the Gemini 10 pilot, believes in life outside Earth?
I don't think so. I think this is a it's such a media spin on conspiracy and the things we're talking about. It's not, the thing is, right, with conspiracy, you can go back to the very first show. It's called Conspiracy Query. We were saying dumb things and our audio sucked, but we've been saying the same thing. It's not necessarily conspiracy. It's that it's narratives that are not sanctioned. I think that's the problem here. And so it's not mind-blowing that this guy says this. Like, he even entertains the question, right? But this is the problem, is that, like, why is that controversial? You know what I mean? Like clearly, like the math is in favor, right? The odds are in favor of life. Not just here, but everywhere. And so it's not controversial at all to me. And so this is silly that the media plays it up as such, because they do. It's what they do, right? They want us to look like a bunch of fools because we're conspiracy theorists. We're the terrorists and criminals of the internet. I'm spoiling that, but what did Stephen Hawking say in the intro? It's the same thing. Here we are again.
Okay, so no big deal. Now let's go to another astronaut's observations. Open up Apollo 15 observation, and this one's kind of on the nose, but let's play this and let's see what we see.
Okay, one more time. What's it called? Sorry.
Apollo 15 observation, astronaut Jim Irwin.
Thank you. All right, got it. Whoa, it comes up if I spell Apollo correctly. Holy shit. Slow down, Mike. Slow down, Mike. All right, here we go. I'm linking this if you guys want to check it out, as always. And as always, these will be in the YouTube video comments, or not comments. What is that? The description box. Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah, something like that. All right, so here's the link of the video, and we're watching this, and action.
I tell you, looking even that way, the sun angle, whoop, by golly, it's pretty bright. Joe, I'm going to swing the camera around towards the ground. And now it's pointing back at the limb, but down. I want you to take a look as I move it up slowly. Make sure that we're okay on what you see, okay? Yeah, powder. Hey, don't move back. I got the tripod over here, okay?
No, you get the point.
That makes for easy trench digging.
If you're just listening, this is a clip from Apollo 15 when they went down the lander, looked around, and what do you see? What do you see? They've made it obvious in the video, but maybe you can tell the folks at home.
Yeah, so they've done some zooming and some other things, but it appears that on the horizon there's some sort of craft that is slightly hovering very low off of the lunar surface here, and so. Yeah, and actually this, to the mythology. Let's go to the Fox Mulder type mythology. That this kind of jives with the story of the ham radio guys that supposedly said that they heard a secret communication off channel where they said they're here and they're watching us. So this would be the same situation. Am I right, Frank?
Yeah. Again, so that's why if you take it out of context, that astronaut saying, "Do you believe in life outside Earth?" It doesn't mean anything. But if you look at stuff like this, and again, we got a cosmonaut clip to play in a second, there's a saucer-shaped object on the moon, and there's a shadow underneath it, which kind of implies it's off the surface. And this is, by the way, this is a good aside. If you want to make a crazy UFO conspiracy video, this is how you do it. You watermark or you embolden the source, the raw source video. So I went to that link, I clicked on it. That is the source video. Of course, they've put those little screen grabs around the outside. But you can click on that. You can go right to the source. So there's no Photoshop. You can't use that as an excuse. This is the real video. And you see what looks like a saucer sitting right there. And they kind of keep panning the camera away from it too. I don't know. What do you think about this?
I think this is nuts. This is exactly, if this is real footage and you can verify this from the Apollo missions, then why are we not riding in the streets, right? Like, where's the yellow vest protests with the UFO drone on the back? Like, what is going on here? Like, this is what the Area 51 meme is about. And if this can be easily explained, let's hear it. Tell us what's up, NASA. We want to know. We want to know. What did Bill Clinton say? He said something like that. If there's aliens at Area 51, I want to know. That's what Bill Clinton said. Yeah, so do we. So
I
get
thought
on
he
it.
said, I didn't have sex with that woman.
He did say that. He actually said that quite often and many more times than the UFO. But yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yeah, he did say something like that. Okay, so
Anyway, I can't help but put these shots in from time to time. There you go. There you go. There's a UFO on the moon. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. That's, again, you'll never get any transparency. You'll never, hey, NASA, what's with this? And they'll give you an explanation. Oh, this is a reflection of the light from a mountain, and the shadows make it look like it's floating, but it really isn't. You'll never get that kind of explanation. But that was floating around on the internet, so to speak. And I found it pretty interesting because you kind of see this stuff right in front of your eyes. And it's so well done to put the source right there. So it's official. You can go to the NASA website and get this same footage.
yeah, and so we got a guest hopefully coming that's done a lot of the same stuff. So stay tuned for that. We will be back with that one day soon. But yeah, so there are actual source images. Excuse me. See, you tell me to get another beer, Frank. I hiccup. How dare I? No, but there are source images that NASA releases and says this is the thing, right? But then there are things in these images and these videos that are suspicious. So it's like, wait, what? Like, yeah, I don't know. Again, right? It's like, it's the whole thing. Are they flaunting it? Are they dropping it in there as like a test to see if the public notices? Is it right? Like, what's actually happening here? Like, I linked the video. It will be linked in the YouTube box below, down below, how they always say, whatever they say. But check it out yourself. And do you think this is real, or do you think this is bullshit? You think we're just, Frank and I are just UFO cranks? We're just, I'm talking about UFOs and I did not have sexual relations with that woman. No. Go look. There are source documents, video and images that you can actually access. And whatever. That's up to you. That's up to you. Hopefully, this show spurs you to go have a look. But yeah, okay. All right, so aliens on the moon, Frank, watching us.
Yeah, let's go into this next clip. Cosmonaut Victor. You can just type that in and find it. And he's talking about a very similar situation in space. Again, look at the context in that answer. Yes. Do you believe in alien of life outside Earth? Yes. You look at it in particular, and you don't think anything of it, but you look at it in context of all these other things. It makes you think. So play this clip. I have to step away myself for a minute. So let's play this Cosmonaut Victor, and I'll be back in a couple seconds.
All right, bring me a cold 45, Frank. Thanks. Here we go, action.
The Russian equivalent of Cape Canaveral is called Star City. Until recently, it was closed to outsiders and jealously guarded its outer space secrets. But in the wake of Glasnost, a sightings investigative team was invited to Star City. And when we got there, the first cosmonaut we spoke with told us that he had just had an encounter with a UFO.
Sightings went to investigate cosmonaut sightings of UFOs, sightings similar to those reported by American astronauts, but dismissed by American scientists.
A lot of things we see on the picture from space are things we're used to seeing here in the control center down here in Houston. They're ordinary events that surround the spaceship. Pieces coming off, water dumps, pieces of ice, insulation. They're just little pieces 10, maybe 20 feet away from the camera.
But within the Soviet space program, cosmonauts insist that they have seen more than just floating scraps of space junk.
I think that we are not alone in the universe. I believe that someone or something of extraterrestrial origin has visited Earth.
In April of 1979, cosmonaut Victor Afanasyev.
I'm gonna stop that. So that is a Russian. They call them cosmonauts, which would be an astronaut. And he, not only does he say he believes in life off of this Earth, he believes they have visited us. Right? I mean, we can't trust the Russians. Rachel Maddow says the Russians are the devil. But I don't know. So would you take this guy as his word, or is he just some sort of a Russian propagandist trying to make us think that, I don't know. Maybe this is part of the Russian propaganda campaign to make us storm Area 51. Who the hell knows, right? But so at what point do you take somebody at their word and their opinion, and you're able to basically splice that from the propaganda? You know, like from what they've been told, from the official story, the quote Wikipedia Ministry of Truth official story. So, right, humanity has to at some point come in and prevail there, right? Like people have their opinions, regardless of the official story. And so, how much weight should we give to that? And how much should we give to the Ministry of Truth and Wikipedia? Yeah. Welcome back, Frank.
So, what do you think about that?
The dude said straight up in the video, he believes not only there's life elsewhere, but they visited us. What he says. A Russian cosmonaut.
Did you play it long enough to see him talking about the ship that was following them?
Nope. Here we go. Action.
Afanasiev lifted off from Star City to dock with the Soviet Soyuz 6 space station. But while en route, something strange happened. Cosmonaut Afanasiev saw an unidentified object turn toward his craft and begin tailing it through space.
It followed us during half of our orbit. We observed it on the light side, and when we entered the shadow side, it disappeared completely. It was an engineering structure made from some type of metal, approximately 40 meters long with inner holes. The object was narrow here and wider here, and inside there were openings. Some places had projections like small wings. The object stayed very close to us. We photographed it, and our photos showed it to be 23 to 28 meters away.
In addition to photographing...
Okay, holy shit. So not only was it an actual craft that was not their technology, it was very, very close. I think that would change my mind if I didn't believe in aliens. How about you, Frank?
Again, pardon me. Again, so you take it in context and you hear this Michael Collins tweet, yes, and you think nothing of it, but this guy's a cosmonaut saying a UFO was following them in the sky. That's pretty crazy. That's amazing. And you never hear about this kind of stuff. But I don't know what to think. It makes you think that storming Area 51 isn't such a bad idea, right?
Well, aside from the mass carnage and the dead people, the dead innocent kids, the Kyles with the monster drinks, yeah, that's tragic. I'm telling the millennials, Frank, I love them. You know why? Because they're smart. They're smart. They're the future, Frank. The millennials are the future. Okay, and I mean that in the most... what's the right word here? Anyway, okay, let's keep on trucking. Again, I'm not trying to malign an entire generation here, because that's my point. There are very smart people that are millennials, right? People shit on millennials? No. I tell you what, for everyone you want to shit on, there's another one that's very, very smart and very, very capable. And there we go. There's my aside. Okay, there's my tangent. Okay, so this Russian cosmonaut says that he believes not only in aliens, he believes that they visited us, and he has proof in the sense that he has eyewitness testimony that they were followed very closely by a craft that was not human technology. Am I right there?
Yeah, exactly. So why aren't we pursuing this? Why is this not on To the Stars Academy? Why aren't they getting these cosmonauts or all these people on that show Unidentified and interviewing them? And why aren't we... You know, the biggest thing about that To the Stars is there's so many great clips from the International Space Station. You know, cut the feed has kind of become a meme, but they see something, they cut the feed. They see another thing, they cut the feed. There's so many of those clips out there. There's thousands of them. And none of that was ever played on the show. They never went to NASA and said, hey, what's this clip? Hey, what about this clip here? Oh, what about that clip over there? You know, they never went to NASA, looked at these ISS videos and said, is this an alien spacecraft? They never did that. And that's insane to me, because one of the biggest, I guess, sectors, if you want to refer to it as that, of the UFO sightings are from that ISS camera. And they never once did it. And you got people like followed them. This is so much more compelling than that it shot a ray at the helicopter nonsense from 2004. So I don't know, if you look at it in that perspective, it's a scam, in my opinion.
You said it wrong. It shot a ray, is what he said. Yes, there you go. There's the Italian translation. 702-957-1037. If you guys want to get on the show, what do you think? What do you think about all this stuff? Are we being lied to? Are we crazy? collectively crazy. They would call that a mass hallucination, I believe, showed up in the Project Blue Book reports by the original J. Allen Hynek. Are we actually nuts for entertaining these ideas that are not mainstream, or maybe thinking things exist that don't show up in science books? Are we insane? Is there some sort of collective insanity? Because, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of feeling like maybe, right? Considering all the possibilities. I don't know. Maybe I'm collectively insane, and you guys are making me insane. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. 702-957-1037. What do you guys think? Call us. You can get on the show. You can tell us what's up, and yeah, there it is. Again, this is transparency, right? Maybe this is the problem, Frank. Maybe you have transparency, and people are intimidated. I think they're intimidated because I'm so smart. What do you think, Frank?
Could very well be. I'll be polite in that answer. Anyway, that's we got one more clip. Why don't we open up this? There was a face. So we have the face on Mars. We have the face on, there's a face on the moon, believe it or not. Now they've discovered a gigantic statue of a face in Antarctica. So again, kind of clickbait, kind of cool to look at. Let's pull open this, play the video. Maybe you can describe what's happening and what this guy sees. This is from thedailystar.co.uk. Again, a great source of journalism.
Yeah, the best. It seems like the best shit, the best clickbait shit comes out of the UK. Those guys are amazing. Take your guns, sharpen your spoons. They'll take those too. But I tell you what, they go to the clickbait like champions. Here we go. I did link it if you guys want to check it out. It will all be in the links down below, of course, on YouTube. Check that out. And here we go. This is Google. The headline. This headline is so pro. Google Earth uncovers gigantic statue of face emerging from Antarctica snow. Let's play this. Can this play? Yeah, tell me this will play. Here we go. I did link it, and here we are. Here we are. And action. Okay, so we have wait. All right, another YouTube tip. And we're not the best, right? Because we're audio guys, but don't do a video of a phone that you're pinching and dragging and put it on YouTube.
No,
anyway.
No, I disagree with you, because for this purpose, it shows that it's a real thing. It shows where it is. And he's demonstrating that he didn't just put a static image on the phone. He's actually opening up the app, looking at the face, zooming out, showing you the position, then zooming back in. So in this case, it's acceptable if you get the idea there.
Okay.
He's verifying that this is a real thing.
Okay, so you're saying that in certain circumstances, things that are normally not the way to go are the way to go. All right, here we go. I agree with you. Action. So he's got the phone. He's kind of pinching and moving, and he's looking at what appears to be literally no shit. Check this out. If you haven't, go to YouTube, troubledminds.org. YouTube link is there, and you can find this video if you're just listening audio style. But there appears to be a face emerging out of the snow in Antarctica. And so this is, here we go. Let's play this action. Well, let's see if there's audio. I don't hear him talking, but go.
No audio.
Oh, there's no audio. Perfect. I get to talk. All right. So he zooms way the hell out, right? So he's zooming out, and this is a Google map of Antarctica, right? And so, okay, I get it. So he's pinching, I see. So he's pinching the, the zoom in, zoom out type of phone action, and then he's zooming back in. And so you can see very clearly, is this pareidolia? But he goes all the way in, and there's these just regular looking, what would you call them? Snow ridges, mountains, rocks, whatever they are, right? Like whatever happens. But if you move into this one particular spot, holy shit, I tell you what, that's a face, Frank. That's a face. Oh boy.
Definitely. Now you can scroll down in the article. They have a static image of the face, but it's important to see the video so you know it's a real thing. Now, it's interesting. If you want to be really paranoid, if you want to be crazy, insane paranoid, you could say that the reason they want to stop climate change is to stop the Antarctic snow from melting and revealing stuff like this, right? We've heard stories about pyramids in Antarctica, all sorts of weird bases, and people going there to fight UFOs. All this crazy story about that continent, and here we have a face. The snow's melting, revealing the details. So if you want to be really crazy, that could be a reason to stop climate change, stop global warming, is to keep the snow covering up stuff that would rewrite history entirely. But you look down, you look at that image, it looks like a face. Is this pareidolia? Is this pareidolia taken to the 10th extent? I don't know, because you see two eyes, you see the mouth, you see a nose, you even see the lips, and it's kind of melting away slowly looking at this thing. So I don't know what to think.
Yeah, it's like that face on Mars, right? It's that whole bit, right, where they're like, oh, this is pareidolia, let's remove the shadows, let's give you a better view of it. And you look at it and you're still like, wait a minute, though. that doesn't look like a regular, actual, geological process to me. Even removing the shadows and the, quote, pareidolia effect, which is, the for the new folks, maybe there are some new folks, pareidolia just means that.
And I have a UFO photo from NASA in their archive that has disappeared.
Did we just
That's right.
No, stop it. Close that.
Closed.
Those are people that are not allowed in the show.
Who was that?
No, I won't say the names.
Okay. Please explain pareidolia.
That's an interesting
thing. Explain pareidolia better than I did.
Is it pareidolia? Isn't it? I don't know. And I tell you, the question is, why can't we just send somewhere to if we send some guy with skis and a backpack and go down into that mouth and see if it's just snow melting or if there's really something there? Let's just find out. How can it be that hard? Like, this is going to be a mystery. This is going to be a mystery for the next 35 years, but it could be solved easily by someone if they really wanted to.
Not only that, we get like satellite drones now where you don't even need a damn cell phone signal. You know what I mean? You could, yeah. This is the thing, right? It's not, I don't know. Isn't it suspicious just a little bit that we end up in this situation where we think we're crazy. We think we're the cranks. We think we're nuts. There's this mass hallucination going on, right? And sure, of course, remember, as always, all this stuff can be faked, right? You have to caveat all of it with that. However, there's a lot that is compelling as well. And so, yeah, here we are talking about it. there's the devil in the details.
The coordinates are in the article there, so you can check them out yourself. 72, 36, 168. So you can go and check yourself. Now, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I have to go. I have to take care of something. I'm talking about suspicious. So you'll have to finish the last few minutes of the show by yourself.
Okay.
I do see someone in the caller queue, though, so you can bring them in. But yeah, I'm sorry. I got to go right now.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. All right, so I guess we're gonna finish this up. There's somebody in the caller queue. Let's look at this. Yes. All right, let's bring this caller in, and I'm not sure what's up with Frank, but okay. There we go. Hello. So Trippy, you're bringing you in, dude. If you're in the caller queue, here you go. You're on air, but so there we go. Trippy Blue, you are on the air in Discord. So I'm not sure what's up with Frank. So I think that yeah, this is this is like the UFO tropes, right? This is the same thing over and over and over again. The masses see something, right? I say the masses, it's maybe a small chunk of people. Again, is it mass hallucinations when I say the masses? Or is it not? Is it just what is it? Anyway, call 702-957-1037. We have a couple minutes left. I'm not sure what's up with Frank, but we will, the good news is you only got me solo for a couple minutes. So we're at the end here. Frank has to do whatever Frank has to do. He's been having some bizarre things happening. People coming around late at night and things like this. So there's that. So I don't know what's that. Anyway, okay, so yeah, if you guys want to call, 702-957-1037. There you go. I'm putting the phone number up. And you are on the air there, Trippy. Trippy, what's up? Trippy on Discord. If you unmute yourself, you are literally on the show with the famous Michael Strange. So, Yeah. All right. What do you guys think? What does this look like? Is this yeah, what is this? Again, are we crazy? Is this a mass hallucination? Are we is this swamp gas like J. Allen Hynek said, right? Was he coerced to come up with these terms, or is this actually a thing? I don't know. All of this is it's food for thought. And again, remember, don't, like Frank and I talk about these things and we say whatever we think when we think it, right? And those things change based on the evidence. But don't, like, still, your opinion is your opinion, and that's the most important thing. Look into it yourself. Look at the evidence. Make up your own mind. We're not trying to sway you one way or the other. It's just the way it goes. Russ says, Frank, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Okay, all right. Cody says, bye, Frank. See Frank squatch on the Barbie. Yeah, who knows? Hopefully he's okay. Let's see. Adrian, what's up? Says, safe to say the feds are after our friend Frank. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know. I can't elaborate because he'll have to do that himself. But okay, so we're at the end here. We're at the end of this. What do you guys think? Are all of these things worth talking about, or is this just a giant waste of time? I think that's the question. And I think so back to what Adrian brought up on Adrian from Cal Fire on YouTube brought up quite a while ago was Jeffrey Epstein. And I kind of said I'm sick of talking about that shit, right? Cuz it's dark. It's disturbing. It literally it puts its, like, that topic puts its fingers on the pulse of the conspiracy theory, right? Like the zeitgeist conspiracy theory. And here we are. I don't know. Anyway, so with that said, if nobody's calling, we're going to wind this down. We're going to end this. We're going to end this sucker, and that's just the way it goes. So time moves, and yeah, people change. And I promise you guys, I'm going to change for the better. I'll be a better man tomorrow. Oh, boy. Okay, all right. So enough about me. Let's, there you go. There it is. This is what we're talking about, and this is what we're doing, and this is Troubled Minds Radio, and we are here for you, and I want to drop some news that we're going to take a little break. We've been grinding this show for a year and a half-ish, and it's it's hard. It's hard. There's a lot to prep. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of post work, a lot of pre work. So if you're still here, this is going to hit the people that love us the most, and we love you back the most. But we're just going to take a little break. So I don't know how long or any of that, but it's just it does wear on you, right? Like literally putting yourself in a situation where you think about the possibility of terrible, terrible things. It weighs on you, like I'm sure you guys feel that weight. So just for now, I don't know how long, we're going to take a little hiatus. Frank and I are on vacation. I hope Frank's okay. I hope he'll come back. I don't know what's going on with him. Honestly, I don't know why he just left, but we did agree that we're going to take a little break. I don't know how long it is, but if you guys want to help us, if you want to push the show, if you want to share the message, if you want to, whatever it is you want to do, tell your friends, spread the word, do the likes and the shares, give us reviews on the iTunes and all the things. Spotify's another good one. They actually just released their podcasts, and we're actually gaining quite a following. Well, budding a following over there. So anyway, yeah. So we're gonna take a little break because it weighs on you. And these types of thoughts are, as another friend of mine said, this is heavy shit, right? This is heavy shit. And so here we are talking about heavy shit. But I'm going to cue the outro. I'm going to do this. So still watching the phone. If anybody wants to get in here and be on the phone. But yeah, okay. So we will have podcasts going up because we got some stuff recorded from the past that we'll throw up, in recent past, I mean, like Epstein and Raid Area 51, these types of things. So we will put that up on the podcast feed. So if you love listening to us, we appreciate it. We love you back. And here we go. This, let's see. This ditty's from Todd. What's up, Todd? Smoking out there in Arizona. Legal now. Legal for you personally. But this is from Todd. There we go. Let's see. Can we play this? Is it playing? No, what the? Are you kidding me? All right. All right, we're gonna play something else then. Let's see. All right, outro, the other outro. Oh, shit's broken. How does this shit start on the show fine and the shit breaks by the end? Okay, anyway, so you guys are listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm rambly because I'm solo, but hey, whatever. It's the way it goes. And yeah, so we will take a break. Please do join the Discord. I will update, Adrian, thank you for pointing it out. I will update the Discord link on the website, troubledminds.org. You can always reach us at troubledmindsradio@gmail.com, or on Twitter at troubledmindsr, or on Facebook at Little Green Manor. We have our own Troubled Minds page. Tons of ways to reach us. So if you want to do that, please do that. We will be back shortly, and I don't know how long that will be. It's just we need a break. We need some rest, and that's how it is. That's how we go. So we're gonna pretend that there's outro music playing, but there's not, because my shit broke. Figured this out. Like I said, my audio is so broken. I'm paranoid. I'm suspicious. It starts right. You guys all heard the music in the beginning. You all heard our intro, which is run on the same program. But then I try and run our outro, and it's broken. Yeah, okay. Don't think I'm an idiot. I just think shit's broke. Anyway, there we go. There we go. There we go. Adrian says next Sunday. Adrian from Cal Fire says Todd and Kelly are running the show. There it is. So again, the Discord is open. When we've had this in the past, we have had a couple weeks off here there in the past. And people have, on show nights, showed up to Discord and kind of done their own show. And had like a open forum and talking about these things and et cetera, so on. So that is possible, and that is why we do this. And there you go. There you go. So here we are. We're at this point. We're ending for now. So you're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. And I'm going to pretend there's music playing, but there's not. Maybe I'll dub it in. Maybe I won't. And I'm here, or I was here, with your co-host, the magnificent, and I hope okay, Frank Pierce. And there we go. So thanks for listening, guys. If you want to help us do all the things, please share, like, thumbs ups, give us reviews, all that good shit, and we will continue to bring the good shit. It's just a little bit of a break. If you want to stay in touch, you know how to do that. I've said that 10 times already. And go back. Here's another thing, too. Go back and listen to some of our shows. If you like what we do now, we weren't so terrible 6 months ago. Maybe go back and check some of that stuff out. That helps, too. So appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. And we're at the end. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours. You guys have a great night.